Alright, so today we're going to be talking about Facebook ads, Facebook and Instagram, since Facebook owns Instagram, and we're going to be talking about how to set up your own campaign on Facebook so you can start pulling in new potential clients and customers and growing whatever business you run or selling whatever product you need to sell through the Facebook ads platform. And I'll be your host, Kurt Hamel, and you can find me at kurthamel.com anytime. I do online marketing consulting and website design. So thanks for watching. We're going to go pretty in-depth about these Facebook ads today, but not too in-depth. I'm not going to go to like the next tier of a marketing firm strategy. We're just going to really get the basics out so you can run your own successful campaign. Alright, and so everyone knows that Facebook is basically a money-making machine, a behemoth for like some people. And for others, they've heard they have sunk money into Facebook and they get no results. So why is that? We're going to go into that even more today. How do you actually use it? It seems like at face value, if you go into their advertising platform, there are so many things, so many buttons, so many tabs to go to, so many options. You have to choose your own audience, who you're targeting. It's just overwhelming. But it really isn't. So while Facebook gives you so many options and tools, you can ignore 80% of them and really just focus down on the important things that are going to help your business and help your website or web presence grow, whatever you're doing. And so I guess most importantly, what is the Facebook ad platform? So that includes Facebook, and that includes Instagram, and is starting to include the Facebook Messenger app. So that includes all the desktop stuff for Facebook and Instagram, as well as the apps, and the Messenger app now too. That we're starting to see that integration process change and flow. As we know, Facebook has been in the news a lot for stuff, but they aren't really changing much, and people still seem to be using the platform quite a bit. And though Facebook seems to be taking a little bit of a downward spike, Instagram keeps rising like this. So use the same advertising platform for both, which is great. So even though they have one declining platform, if you are used to using Facebook ads, you can publish the same type of ad and the same framework through Instagram. And best of both worlds is they use the same account for that too. And while in my opinion, Google AdWords is the better of the two ad platforms that are out there versus Facebook, I think Facebook is the second best. I think even more importantly, it's better for visuals. So if you really want to create an ad campaign that's centered around visuals, or you're selling a nice looking product, Facebook is where you want to go with that, and Instagram especially. So you can create little snippets of video for your ads or using an image, but if you're going for a text-based ad, look at my video from last week on Google pay-per-click. While they do have images as well, Facebook and Instagram are just so more fine-tuned for drawing someone in with a visual cue, which is pictures and video and sound quality. So what you're going to need to start any of this is a Facebook account, and then you need to create a Facebook page and a Facebook ad account with that Facebook page. So with your Facebook account, this is all free to do also. There's no charge for any of this except for to actually buy ads. But to set up these accounts, it's completely free, as always. And then once you get into the actual ad, there's 3 levels. There's the ad set, and then the campaign. So those are the different groupings. So ad is just one singular ad set is a set of ads, as it says, and a campaign is multiple ad sets possibly. It could just be one ad running in one ad set in one campaign, but then you really don't need to worry about this. But that's just kind of how they stack the different levels of ideas. Now, one other thing I want to talk about, the entire purpose of creating a Facebook ad is really, some people use it to drive people to their page, but still, the really end goal is you want to get them to your product page, if it's on another website, an affiliate link, or if that's what you're doing, or to your website. That's what I would use any of these ads for. If you do not have a funnel strategy set up from your website, you're just going to be throwing your money away on Facebook ads. So before you go about creating amazing looking Facebook ads, you really need to make sure that you have a good website, that's ready to handle the traffic that you're going to bring in, and that's ready to convert these people. Because if you start, breaking the ice with some icebreaker ads, as we'll talk about, and then you finally convert them to actually go to your website, you want to be like making sure they sign up and have something like to download so you can collect their email or something to buy right away. You don't want to just go into their website and just kind of nothing to be there, nothing to hold them at your website, no way to get their email address or get them to buy an introductory offer. These are things you got to be thinking about, and that's all web marketing funnels. But that's what the purpose of Facebook ads, Google ads, Bing ads, whatever you're using. That's the whole purpose of them. So always remember that. I was talking to someone the other week who said, "Oh, you did a great explanation of Google ads," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, but I checked out their website and." They were like, well, I just don't understand why mine aren't converting, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out they just went to a dead page. Like, it went to their home page that did not have anything to do with what their ads were targeting. So you will just be throwing away money if you don't have a funnel ready to go on your website. And if you ever want to talk about that, feel free to kind of connect with me on social media or on my website or through email. And that's just a good heads up before you start worrying too much about advertising. You need to go to organic funnel first. Now, things you need to really be thinking about when you're creating these ads, selecting your audience, that's who to target, ad placement, that's where the ad is it going to be on mobile, is it going to be in the app, is it going to be on desktop, what kind of ad, is it going to be on the sidebar, is it going to be in the main feed, type of ad, is it going to be, you have to select if it's like, is it trying to convert someone to your website, is it just trying to break that cold opening so they can just see some of your content first and get used to seeing you and checking out your Facebook page. Are you doing the 1, 2, 3 like punch? And you also have to think about setting your budget. So budget is the biggest one probably. All this other stuff you can learn with time. Budget is an important thing. If you're just trying to drive a few people and play around with it, keep your budget low, especially at the beginning. It's always that easy. But Facebook, it's pretty easy to just throw away $50. Sometimes, if you're not careful, it's not as targeted as you'd like, and you'd end up really just throwing away $100 in a day. I've done that before on accident. Not on accident, like back when I really didn't know what I was doing. I was learning. You can easily just throw away $100 at people clicking on that link, going somewhere that does not convert them. So yeah, they did exactly what Facebook promised you. They clicked on that thing, boom, they went somewhere, and there was nothing for them there. So think about your budget starting out. I'd really recommend to keep it like $10 or $20 a day, and really watching those first few days too. You learn a lot. And so with that also, you really gotta just think about that realistic budget, and your custom audience. Now, that can be so distinct. If you already have a page set up, which hopefully most of you do, that's really good. Once you have over 100 people on your page, you can get much more targeted insights for audiences from Facebook. They can really target down, and once you get 100 people from the same country, I should say, I think that's what it is, you can really, Facebook's insights and some advanced stuff can really target audiences. But don't even worry about that if you don't. If you're just trying to get people to convert to your web page, I know a lot of people, and I would recommend this too, obviously, would recommend like the 1-2 punch, as I like to call it. Other people call it other things. But so one is create an ad that lures someone in with a free piece of content, like maybe it's a free video or a free blog post or something like that. So that's the first ad, because you can retarget these people. Facebook tracks all of this stuff. I think after I'm done with this, I'll tell you about the Facebook Pixel too. So let's say you lure them in with a free piece of content. Maybe it's an amazing in-depth blog post. Boom. You got them with the 1 punch. They like it. Number 2, you target them with a re-ad. After they've already liked your content, you show them, hey, if you give me your email or subscribe to our email list, I'm going to give you this free download for something they're interested in that has to do with your niche. Maybe it's a free how-to guide, free PDF on this, free ebook, free video course, whatever it is, and bam, now they're really into you, because now they've got a second piece of exclusive content from you. Now if you're going through your head, like, how many times have I been lured into these things? You probably have. So now that they have that exclusive piece of content, what is the 1, 2, third punch that you're going for the kill basically with these people? That is up to you. So once you're at that point, depends. Are you selling shoes? That's when you really want to be pushing them onto that page with that $300, $400 pair of shoes. If you're selling, services, that's when you really want to make sure they're buying your service at this point. They now trust you. They've built a repertoire. You've shown that you create high quality stuff. That's once again going back to that whole quality thing. You got to make sure you have an entire idea and funnel built around all this. If you just have these people paying, if you're just paying for ads on Facebook, it's not going to do you any good. You have to have a full strategy with all this. And that gets down to the point, how are you tracking all these people that are going back and forth from your website to Facebook? Well, Facebook has this thing called the Facebook Pixel, which is just some little bit of code that tracks your Facebook account through like cookies and your login info onto a lot of different websites. So anyone who basically does Facebook ads also has Facebook Pixel on their website. Basically Facebook knows everything about you. Before you think like Facebook's this big baddie, Microsoft does this, Google does this, Amazon does this. They all track your accounts and your data and are buying and selling all this data between everyone. But that's how they track everything and know literally everything about you, and probably more than you know about yourself in some aspects, which is really creepy. But that is not for here or there. Today we're just talking about how to advertise on these platforms. And Apple a little less than the other ones, but still does also track that data. And obviously there's tons of other companies out there that track this data too, as we've heard in the news, like Cambridge Analytica and stuff like that. But they buy from the first-hand companies. They had to get the data from somewhere. But beyond that, that is how Facebook follows and keeps up with you even when you're off their website. They basically trade anyone like me. Let's say I'm running an ads campaign, so I have Facebook Pixel installed on my website. It's not just my website. It's literally almost every website out there that has more than 100 people hitting it a day is going to have all this tracking on it. But that's why there's a lot of protections you can use. Like I use Mozilla Firefox, a lot of cookies disabled, so it's harder to track me, but I'm sure they have a good enough idea of who I am because I have to have a lot of things open up for work anyways. But beyond that, that is how you can track people going back and forth from your website to Facebook and to Instagram. So you can use all three platforms, your website, your personal website or business website, which you're trying to actually get people to convert on, to Facebook, to Instagram, back. You can track them in all places. And obviously not everyone uses all platforms, but we're obviously assuming you're tracking either someone on Facebook or Instagram. And it's all in the same exact little thing, which I'll get to in a sec. And they do this all through using these targeted audiences. So basically, with all this data they have, their AI is super, super smart. So they can see that most of the people that like you, let's say, are 27 through 34-year-old female single women that like to play volleyball on Saturdays and smoke cigars on Sunday. But literally they can see through all your likes, your interactions. They know these huge demographic bubbles, basically. They create this stereotype, basically, but a very factual-based stereotype, which is kind of scary. We should get into future predictions and stuff like that. But that's what AI really does. It answers, what would this person want in the future? What does this person want to go towards? And that's how they target these groups through you. And especially if you already have, this is another point, if you already have an email list and you input that email list through Facebook's ad platform, it will use those info and it'll connect. It'll say, oh, that account, that email goes to this account, this, boom, boom, boom. It'll create a whole entire audience just based on your email list too. So that's a cool way to implement some stuff. But and then once you already have this audience, this gets a little more advanced. Once you have that 100 minimum from one country, you can create a lookalike audience which to target. But I mean, I feel like I'm talking about the audiences so much. And this is just something you're going to have to play around with. There's so many little demographic changes, little things you can tweak here and there. Some people I've heard even just literally leave everything blank and just base it on converting numbers. So they let the Facebook algorithm do everything and just, this is more for like sales and stuff like that. Obviously, if you're like doing a service, like let's say you're a lawyer, you're going to really want this to be much more strategically planned towards your clientele. But if you're selling a small, less niche product, you can almost just leave everything blank and let the AI do the work for you, which is crazy how good the AI has gotten in that regard. But beyond that, Um, you actually got to make the ad also. Um, Hello, Rosie. I am at my mom's house today looking after her dogs and my grandfather's dog while they're away. So, got some dogs in the house. Well, this is my childhood room, by the way, a little fun. And so, when we're actually creating the ad, you're going to probably want to create a few ads at a time. And I'll get into this later. I'll actually go to the ad platform really quick and show you around. But you want to create, Rosie, come on now. You want to create like at least minimum of 2 ads to see which ones are performing better and just to get more experience. So don't put all your money into one ad. And when you're thinking about this, like some people like don't like the idea of spending $100 on an ad, but really think about what the results of that ad are. It all really depends too. You don't want to be spending. So just like Google, it's kind of like an auction. So if you're targeting some keywords or something or a different audience, there's going to be more or less expensive hits, and depending on the type of ad you do. But you got to really question yourself, is this worth it? Because sometimes the ads are not. You're not going to make enough money, but sometimes maybe it's not even about making money. It's about building an audience or something like that. But if you are an attorney or a doctor or something like that, trying to build new clientele for your practice, throwing $500 to get one new client is totally worth it. If you're trying to sell coffee mugs on eBay, probably not. Probably not selling a $600 coffee mug that's going to make that in return. But you got to do that math for yourself. Whatever it is, you got to make sure that advertising money is in your budget. So if you're selling something smaller or doing a smaller, cheaper service, you got to make sure that you're adding whatever ad revenue and that time you're putting into that advertising into your budget. So boost up that price by X amount. Because if you're selling a service for $30 an hour, you don't want to spend $20 on an ad to get that one new person in, unless it's going to be a recurring revenue. Like let's say you do haircuts or something like that, then it's worth it to even spend $50 because they come back multiple times through a lifetime. It's what that lifetime value is. And really the main thing, I think that's about the main idea behind all the ads. So let's actually look at the different ads, because that is about all I can tell you without showing you anything. So if we go to screen capture here, let's check out, oh sorry, I'm so used to type it in, Facebook ads, platform, and so here, if you have not actually used the platform before, Facebook has tons of resources for you. They even have certifications and stuff like that. So you need to create a page with your account. I'm assuming everyone here has a Facebook account, because if you don't at this point, you're doing online marketing or trying to market for your business, you need to create one. Unfortunately, even if you hate Facebook, that's just kind of the world we live in. I'm not trying to do a social commentary here, but so what you would do is just get started, and this goes over all the stuff I've gone over too. So you just want to create an ad. I should be signed in to my personal account. I do have some weird other accounts I do some stuff with. I am. There's Kurt. So you come to this little platform, and you can pick all the different stuff you want your brand. Get out of here. Sorry. And so just kind of like Google, there's tons of stuff in here which you can do, and you can, whatever you were trying to do, whether it's engagement, which is just making your posts go up, you know, likes and stuff like that, app installs if you're trying to push a new app, video views if you have a YouTube channel or are trying to promote that. But I think that means Facebook videos. Lead generation, that's what I really focus on, really getting actual details about people. And messages, if you're really into the Facebook bot stuff, that's also. And conversions, this is the money right here. Money, money, money. You really want to be converting these people to either buying something from you or getting their email or signing up for your services, because if you're not doing that at the end of the day, what are you doing? Well, you're trying to use the consideration to kind of warm them up to you. You don't want to be going to cold. It's hard to just sell someone like that. So a lot of times people create consideration ads using one of these techniques to just show them stuff, or even just the awareness, just to just get it out there in front of them, and then eventually retarget the people that are interested with conversions, like I was talking about, that 1, 2, 3 punch, boom. So you maybe start out with just a brand awareness thing, quick little video, or just about your brand, or a blog post or something, which would be like traffic. And then you go, eventually then you need to do a conversion for free, and then you do a conversion for a sale, or to get an email for a sign up for maybe a course or something. It all really depends on what you're targeting. But yeah, and you can see all the different ad sets. I think I kind of have some ads running for a client right now, but or no, I don't, not on this account, sorry. But okay, cool, I just have this one on here. But yeah, you can see the different ad sets, and you can see every little detail about it. And especially and if you're doing any of this, you need to be installing that Facebook pixel on your website so you can track people, especially on your website, because it does a lot of good to just use the Facebook ads, but really tracking them through your website too will also allow you to track people that have been to your website, but you haven't actually targeted with Facebook ads yet, and allows Facebook to develop an even better read on who they should be targeting with their algorithms. And they give you a lot of tips and stuff here, but you know, and you can target different. You can target the whole country, and you can get really you can target just cities. So I could target just like the Detroit area or New York City, or even if you're in a huge city like New York, you can target smaller areas than that too. So it all really depends on how local you are versus national. Like if you're selling a product online, who cares? You want the whole U.S., right? Maybe even Canada, depending on shipping costs. But I don't know what your business is. But if you're doing something like a dentist, you're going to want to be hyper local with these ads. You're not going to want to be targeting someone in Maine for your local dentistry shop. That just doesn't make sense. And so that's things you got to think about. And it'll show you the whole location, your age range. A lot of times with age, that all really depends on you. If you kind of know what you're targeting, go for it. Test different things though. That's like creating multiple ads, testing them against each other. That's the way to go. A lot of times, too, if you're just starting out, Facebook will offer you a free 10 or 20 bucks once in a while, and you can pick gender and stuff. But a lot of times, I like to just let some of these categories go to Facebook, depending on what we're targeting or what the job is. Obviously, if I'm working with let's say I was doing a drunk driving attorney, we're going to target these well below. Really, for them, they want to get, you want to get that 30 to that 18 to 30 range, really, for like a drunk driving client. Because once someone gets a drunk driving, a lot of times they'll get it again, but also they'll go to the same attorney again. I mean, that's just also knowing your market, knowing whatever you're doing. So we're targeting that age group specifically, and that's a lifetime client normally too if you're doing your job right. Sadly, that is a lifetime client, statistically speaking. And here's your placements and everything. See, they didn't even used to do this, but now it's automatic placements, which is actually great. It'll just put it in the best place that'll get the most clicks and everything. You can do the daily budget, and you can set this down to, I think 10 is the minimum. Maybe you can set it down to less. I don't really know. Never done less than 10. But yeah, and then you can set the dates for your campaign and all that stuff. But really, I would suggest trying to do like 20 bucks a day for a few days. You can set it just to like a few days on here. Really test it. Test 2 different ads. Do A/B testing. See what's working best. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. And the more you do it, the AI is going to know what you want more too. So, and that's just basically it for Facebook ads. Besides that, I guess you have to actually create the real ad. But you can pick what type you want. So really, for me, it's just offering me some stuff on my page to advertise, but I'm not creating an ad today. But just go through it, play around with it really, honestly, find out what works best. Remember, these are all pay-per-click ads, so for one field it might be better to do video. I'd say, but video costs more too. So video is great, but you know, depending on the search terms, they're gonna go up, down, sideways the price, and it can even change week to week on how much. Not drastically, but you know, Kanye West is about to come out with a new album. Kanye prices for Kanye stuff have probably gone way up. I'm just assuming, just because that's a much more relevant term. But yeah, and then I wonder if I can. Yeah, but they have, you can see your insights and stuff, and just about everything else. And then billing, lastly, even you might think, oh, I got away with getting free ads. No, they just haven't charged you yet. They only charge you once you do a full cycle. And if you have, I think they charge you every X amount of dollars, maybe it's like 50 or something. But if you don't pay it, they just freeze your account. You can't use it anymore. It's connected with your Facebook, so traditionally that kind of is the end of it. And you can really, that's not enough for them to really care too much. They make billions of dollars a year in ads. But that's about it today for Facebook ads. And all this stuff too, I forgot to say, this can all be copied over to Instagram too. So this is all, the same platform is used for the Instagram ads. You can, you know, put it on there, and the Instagram account, see, I have my Instagram account connected, so I can do ads that relay back to my Instagram as well. For what I do, I don't do work with too many people that do visual ads that are strictly for Instagram. But if you are selling a product, Instagram is amazing. Or if you're selling like skincare services or whatever, the more visual the thing you have, the more Instagram I'd say you lean, and the more less visual, the more Facebook, and then the less visual, go Google pay-per-click, which can also turn around totally when you go to YouTube ads, which is even more visual. But that's basically it for today. That's my intro for getting into Facebook ads. If you guys learned some really cool stuff today, please just like and subscribe. I do this every Wednesday, and also if you want to get on my exclusive email list, please go to kurthamel.com, link in the doobly-doo, and join our newsletter. It's free, and I send it out once a week, not that much spam, and if you just don't like it, just you can unsubscribe later. I won't be too offended. It hasn't happened yet, but if it does happen. And before I go, I just want to ask you guys like 2 quick questions. If you guys can comment down below. What do you guys think of this today? It's a different format than normal, a little longer. And do you guys have any other questions about Facebook? Do you like Facebook ads or do you like Instagram ads better? What do you think, Facebook or Instagram? I lean towards Facebook, but I want to hear what you guys think, Facebook or Instagram. All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the day.